Hey, are you having a hard time finding leads for your business? I'm Colleen Strube, and today at MinkLife Motivation Live, we are going to be talking about boosting your influence by the power of collaboration. Time to get started. Welcome, welcome. So excited that you're joining us here today. And don't forget that you are also part of this conversation. We would love for you to jump on, comment, interact with us. So it's not only us here having this great conversation, but you are part of it too. I want to welcome our special guest today, Brian Morrison, and then we'll meet our other Mingle members in a minute. So, Brian, first question's up for you. So, how has the power of collaboration really helped you in your entrepreneurial journey?
Okay, collaboration for me is really, it's worked me because it's improved for me the way that my team works. It also, it really helps me with problem solving.
Mhm.
And another thing that really helps with it leads to us having much more innovation, efficient processes, increased success. And also, I find that by collaborating, it actually improves communication in a massive way.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think working with other people just takes our I know it's taken my business to like the next level. So let's hear from Natalie. So Natalie Clark, Awakening Guide, another fabulous member of this community. What has helped you in terms of collaborating in your entrepreneurial journey?
Hi, Colleen. Thank you very much. It's nice to be a guest on the show today. Um, Power of collaboration has really given me access to the experts that not only up my game, but also allow me to provide my audience with a completely different perspective and learning experience. And power of collaboration has allowed me the opportunity to also expand myself, get clarity on who I am, what I offer, and who I serve.
Perfect. Love that idea. You know, getting clarity while we're doing this whole journey is fabulous, right? Another member of our community, Amy Lanci, tell us a little bit more about how the power of collaboration has helped you in your entrepreneurial journey.
I think the power of collaboration has been pivotal in my journey because there are times when we are facing the unknown, which is every day, and when we're facing the unknown, there's a lot of questions that run through my head, such as what do I need to do? What should I be focusing on? And when that happens, that opens a door to different shadows that come out. The internal critic. And so collaboration has really helped me to not only be able to walk through those shadows with people who love and support me and would just give it to me straight, but also it allows me to understand like where are my gifts really and who do I really need to lean on that has gifts that has gifts in places that I'm really lacking. So it really allows me to really understand who I am and also better understand like what is something that is better left to someone else in my circle to help me figure out.
Yeah, I think one of the things you mentioned is about having other people to help you in your journey, right? Or I like to say, like, kick your butt when you need to
Yes.
move on, or tell you, like, don't waste your time doing that. You need to, delegate that to someone else. And a lot of times, if we're an entrepreneur, we want to do everything, right? Initially, and we realize that our gifts are better served when we are actually working in our genius and be able to delegate the stuff to someone else's genius and let them really shine. So Awesome. Great way to get started. So now it's time to get motivated. And today we're going to talk our hot topics about getting motivated is our power partners. So why is it important to leverage the power of collaboration? Amy, let's start with you.
It's important to leverage the power of collaboration because when you have power partners who have skill sets that complement yours and are different, but also can serve the same audience, you're able to put together projects and proposals that are more robust, more inclusive, and really serve your audience better than what it would have been by yourself. And also, with the power of collaboration, it does allow you to draw on resources from your power partner because you're working together with them. And that happens regardless of how much money you have in the bank. And so what I'm saying here is that, having those power partners allows you to have access to that knowledge that you need without always having to worry about, do I have enough money to pay to delegate this out? Like sometimes with their power partner, they are, willing to exchange things, or something that can actually help you figure out what do you really need, so that way you're not just throwing money at solutions that you may not actually need.
Perfect. I mean, we see that happen all the time in the co-work space that we have in our community. Is we jump in and someone says, "Hey, read this email," or "Can you look at this? Give me some feedback." It's I think that's the whole power of having those power partners, is people that you can lean on just for that different perspective that you're looking at. So, Natalie, how about you? What is the importance of leveraging the power of collaboration?
I find when you collaborate with people, they make you up your game. So where you want to play small, they make you step up to the plate and play big. So, where you can see gaps in your processes and how you serve your clients, when you have somewhere where you can bounce the ideas off, you get to close those gaps, and you also get to have a look at your confidence, your self-esteem, how you show up. And you're always becoming more and more clear. Because if there's one thing I've noticed about a lot of people that I've collaborated with and met in networking events is, as you get to understand people, so you become clearer and clearer with who you serve, how you serve them. Because as a coach, we can serve a lot. We serve a wide audience. And to find a niche to be the door opener can sometimes be a struggle. But because you're meeting the same power partners regularly, that every time you speak to them and you pitch to them, you start understanding more about what you serve, how you serve, and what it is that you're bringing as a benefit. Because it's difficult to explain what your benefit is when just arrive in my room and I'll make you feel better. I can help you with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but that's not necessarily how you pitch yourself.
Yeah, perfect. It's all about clarity, right? And having other people's perspectives and helping you achieve that.
Yeah.
Brian, back to so why is it important for us to leverage that power of collaboration?
Okay, for me, the big one is actually around because we raise our profiles. We raise our profiles in a massive way, but not only our profiles, because we're collaborating with our power partners, we're actually raising the profile of each individual. So if the four of us are sitting and we're collaborating in a project, and someone needs some support and like making sure they're doing something correctly, and the other three people are making sure they've got that support, it's making the whole four of us looking professional. So by collaborating and making sure that everyone's got that support, we're just raising our profiles in a massive way as a team, not as an individual.
Yeah, being able to elevate everyone at one time, right? And really have a
Most
true,
definitely.
A better product, a various system, because now you can, take a problem from start to finish when you collaborate with the right people and create them as power partners. You can really solve someone's problem from, from when they first have it all the way through the process. So perfect, guys. So, so now let's look at staying inspired. So, how does the lack of understanding of collaboration affect the way that we might move through our life and our business? Brian, you want to start us off?
Okay, for me, it's really a lack of understanding around collaboration. It can cause problems by as I said previously, because we're there as a team with all our power partners, a lack of understanding the collaboration program or what we're all agreed to and what we're doing actually can look negative on the whole lot of us. So it's exactly the opposite that I said before. We may look unprofessional. It could harm, maybe not only say it's myself that's saying something different or wrong that we didn't agree, that could harm the whole four of us because we're there in a collaboration. So it's about making sure that we know 100% what we're doing.
Perfect. Yes. Making sure there's clear ideas, clear guidelines set so that everyone agrees and that we know what each of us are doing, right? Natalie.
Okay, for me, I think it's important that if you've got a lack of understanding of your collaboration, you might not take the time and trouble to do what Colleen offers us the most important things, follow up. Because we arrive at events, we meet people, we engage with them, and then we don't take the time and trouble to realize that to follow up with people that we met, that in the breakout rooms, for example, or on conferences and events, when we don't follow up with those people, we lose opportunities, not only for clients, but also perhaps to end up building your authority on another platform, because we grow and evolve. Our businesses aren't stagnant because they grow as we grow. As entrepreneurs, it's a journey that we're sharing with our clients as we become more authentic and can offer more. So it's really important that we take the time and trouble to follow up with people so that we can create those power relationships, because there's nothing like somebody out there as your raving fan, and you build raving fans from being authentic and connecting with people on a personal level.
It's always about follow-up. Yes.
Oh yeah.
There you go. So Amy, so how do you find that when we have the lack of understanding, how does it affect us both in our life and our business?
When we lack the understanding of the importance of collaboration, we end up working in a silo. We work in a vacuum. We can get very isolated and somehow assume that we know all the answers. So we're not going to go ask for help, but we don't know any of the answers because, again, we need help. So then it's that whole stagnation that can happen when we don't allow ourselves to collaborate. And when we don't allow ourselves to collaborate, that's when our life and business, we get stuck. And, that's why there are so many coaches out there who are trying to help people, because they know it's very easy to get stuck. And so, in order to keep moving, or in order to figure out what's behind the stuckness, collaboration is the key to all of this. Collaborators will keep you accountable. Collaborators will help you, talk over things so that you can keep moving forward. Collaborators can take something and break it down to smaller steps. Collaborators, depending on where they are in your personal life, they can be like the people who will sit with you in the dark. And so, when you are able to be vulnerable and be transparent with your power partners, with your collaborators, sometimes I call them my dream catchers because they're catching my dream. When you're able to have those people close to you, you are able to shine in a way that you wouldn't be able to if you were doing everything by yourself.
I love that, dream catchers. So yeah, I've had situations in the past where you're collaborating with someone on a project, and we talk about understanding, you thought they were going to do it, they thought you were going to do it, and then it doesn't get done, and then as Brian was saying, like, you look bad for everyone. So yeah, I think really understanding when you look at your power partners, making sure that you have the right power partners in your circle so that you can both shine. So all right, so now we want to go to our next one, which is the one I love, is keep networking. So who should we ask for help when we are trying to improve our power of collaboration? Who do you want in that back pocket? So Natalie.
Okay, so I take it right back to your tribe, your support system, the people that you have built relationships with, because they create that firm foundation and they can see gaps where you didn't even realize you had one. So where you don't have clarity on something and you're trying to move forward, because they understand you, they understand your limitations, they're always the best place to start. And the other place is, don't be scared when you're on networking events or collaborations that you look at the strangers that are in the room. Because I said to someone, I don't have the tools to edit a video, for example. It was my issue at the time. And the person said to me, but you're asking the wrong question. You're saying that you need the tools. I'm asking you, who do you need? And the who can sometimes answer the question for you quicker and in a much better, more professional way than trying to delve into all these tools. Because if there's one thing I know, you can spend your entire life trying to learn new tools for your business. And at the same time, you're getting no traction, you're not moving forward because you're trying to learn all these tools and manage it on your own. So yeah, reach out and find an expert. And don't be scared, like Amy says, for energy exchange, because people are open to that, because everybody needs something and we all have something to offer.
So perfect. So we need to like who do we need to find, right, in our power connection? So Brian, who do you find that you should ask for help in to help your increasing that power of the collaboration?
For me, it was Natalie just hit it there right on. Really about your tribe, who has been following you along, who's been supporting you. But not only that, again, it was mentioned before, it's about networking. When you go along to these networking events, look who you feel is the ideal person to maybe go and have a one-to-one with that you think you can support. I was just in a talk today with someone that I wanted to collaborate with, and I only spoke to this person for about 7 or 8 minutes last month, and I really wanted that person to come on my collab because their experience, they knew little bits where I had gaps and did not understand. This person could fill that gap. And it was only like 2 hours ago where I met that person. I said, please, will you come on this project with me? So when you're at networking, again, like Natalie said, do listen for all these little things. And even if you've been given a business card by someone, write a couple of words on the back of it, like what was it they said? And then when you go home, you'll remember what they said and then get a hold of that person.
Yes, perfect. Yes, remember. Make those. Amy, I think.
Yes. So before I go to networking meetings, I have to ask myself, why am I going to this networking meeting, and what kind of support do I actually need? And so it's that first step that's when I reach out to people in my network in terms of, who should I be seeking? Just to help me to brainstorm that. And I'm going to take a Simon Sinek approach for a second here. Simon Sinek talks about how there are why type of people who are very rooted in their why, they're creative, they see the big old vision that like Walt Disney, like that, he was a why person. And then there are people who are how people who know how to put things together, people who, are able to, you can go out to say, like, hey, let's say Natalie was a how person. Be like, hey, Natalie, how do I put together this course over here? And Natalie would be like, all right, so you just do like steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure you have the structure, and the structure could look like this. And then like, but to do that, you could do these other things to create the actual structure. That's an example of a how person.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm looking at, my needs in terms of who do I get support from before going to a networking meeting, I need to look at, do I need to talk to a why person in my circle, or do I need to talk to a how person? And so those are the people that I reach out to in order to figure out what my needs actually are before I start, sending out, a gazillion inquiries.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Like, who are your why people and who are your how people, right? And looking at it. So perfect. So our next question we want to look at is obviously the gain knowledge piece. So being a high knowledge person, I love this one. So for our final thoughts here is, what is your final tip for growing the power of collaboration? And who wants to go first? Brian. We always let our guests go first anyway.
Okay. For me, it would be my big one is harness the power of stories. Really, but stories say everything. I just love it. If you just use stories, then that's my number one tip. Use stories. Always, never stop using stories, and you honestly will get the right people in collaboration. Share your stories over and over again, and you'll get the right people.
Perfect. Yes, share your stories. And Natalie, what would be your final tip on growing the power of collaboration?
My tip is, don't be scared to meet people more than once. So if they connect with you, you enjoy being with them, you have a lot of fun in their space, connect with them more than once. Don't be scared, because when you connect with people, sometimes at a networking event, say you have a breakout room, you get 10 minutes to chat, you don't really get to cover a lot of ground. But when you connect with people and you go back 2, 3, 4 times, you build a strong relationship. That person gets to understand who you are, how you like to show up in business, what projects you want to be on, what projects you don't want to be on. So to create a raving fan, you sometimes need to be able to be in their space more than once. So even if it feels like it's a waste of time, you just have too much fun chatting, sometimes that extra 2 or 3 chats that you have, maybe once or twice a month with that person, is actually going to have them out there sending you flows of clients, 10, 15, 100. It's worth the time. Don't look at it as a waste.
Right. Build the relationship.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Amy, what's your final tip for us on how we're growing that power of collaboration?
It's about quality and not quantity. I know it's very tempting to look at a giant networking meeting thinking there are 100 people in this room or Zoom room. I can easily get, 50 people from this one group. And the truth of the matter is, do you actually need to talk to all 50 people? Do you actually want to talk to all 50 people? As you can see, the title that Monica gave me is the Introvert Whisperer. So if you're introverted like me, we don't really want to talk to 50 people after a meeting. Sure, maybe if it's over the course of a few months, but that's a lot. And I think that the whole point of going to a networking meeting is to meet people who can really have your back, who can teach you something that you don't know. And that requires a lot of trust. And if you are able to walk away from a meeting that had 100 people with 5 new contacts of people who you really, really connected with, consider that success. I mean, if you just walked away with one person, if you really were oh, you're my people, that one person, that is successful. I just want people to understand that, it's about the quality of the connection that you make and not the quantity.
Yeah, very much so, right? So it's in looking at that. I think as you were saying, look at it doesn't matter on, you don't want the, like, just lots of people, you want the quality of people. And I think one of the things is recommendations, right? So many times we're in the community, the Mingle community, and we go, oh, well, you really need to talk to this person, right? You need to talk to Monica, or you need to talk to Peggy. So it's that piece of recommendation to really help you build that tribe, that group of people that you are looking to collaborate with. So, we're already at our end. We're at our announcements, guys. I was having so much fun. We need to do this some more, right? So, but it is time for announcements. So Brian, what do you have going on in your life? How can people connect with you more?
Okay, I would love people to connect with me. Although you can tell with my accent, I'm Scottish. I'm in the UK. I'm looking to connect with people internationally to get involved in more networking. They call me Mr. Networking here in the UK, and I would just love for people to connect with me, to have a one-to-one, just to build relationships. I just love helping people, and the best way to get a hold of me, of course, is through LinkedIn, which is on the screen now.
Perfect. So we will definitely, I'm pretty sure we're connected. So we've been networking for a while, but yes, if you haven't connected with Brian yet, make sure you jump on his LinkedIn and do that. So now that we can network all around the world at all different times, I've met so many great people doing virtual networking and doing that. One of which is Natalie. So I haven't met Natalie in person yet because she's in South Africa. But Natalie, what's going on in your world?
Okay, well, I have just launched some very exciting energy healing retreats. So I'm looking for healers, coaches, counselors, business entrepreneurs, and I would love to connect, chat, and see how we can collaborate. After all, it's all about the power of collaboration. And here at MinkLife, it's all about us being in the same place at the same time. So you can get a book a meeting with me on my Calendly link.
Awesome. They can come hang out in the co-working space with us. We're doing that. So, and I was lucky enough to meet Amy in person many years ago. So, I think we were in Vegas when we met.
Yes, we're in Vegas.
She's in California. So, Amy, tell us how we can get connected to you in your world.
So I am offering, free 15-minute reviews of people's elevator pitches, because I know that can be a sore on your side if you don't have that down. And so, I offer that in order for people to get better clarity of what words really convey what they do. And then that way they could just get that feedback in that safe space with me. So there's going to be a link in the bottom where you can book that with me. I'd be happy to go over that with you. And also, I'm speaking at Mink University's next conference next week. So, awesome. Or Sydney, Australia. So please join in for that too.
That sounds great. So, and I'm Colleen Strube. I'm your follow-up fortune finder, and I would love for you guys to come do your follow-up with us. We have a great time. The program is set so that you can actually get your follow-up done. It's all about the implementation, and we help you with those systems. And then also your mindset around follow-up is very important to understand. So just book a time and we'll get you started. So now we also have a lot of MinkLife things going on, and we would love for you to join our community. As you saw, we've got some amazing members of our community. So come hang out, come see. We might be your best power partner yet. You don't know it yet. Mm-hmm. And then we also we have conferences coming up, and we talked about it. So we're always looking for more dynamic speakers, right? As we see on these, it really is, you make magic when there's multiple people here. We're talking about the same thing, but we all have a little bit of a different perspective to come from it. And we always have great times. So if you are a speaker out there and would love to get your voice out to this community, just jump on and become a dynamic speaker. And most of all, if you want to come off the couch and actually be here on the show with us, we would love for you to be our guest. Like Brian, thank you so much for coming and sharing your time with us today. I know it's really late there. So if you would like to be a guest, we would love to have you on our show. And you can go to the link of minklifemotivation.com/live for the show. And I don't know, as Amy mentioned, we've got the conference coming up. So certainly check that out. They are phenomenal. They're like nothing you've ever attended, unless you've, of course, attended one of the many. I think this is maybe my 10th or 11th conference. It's amazing how, even though we're kind of going over the same material and content, we talk about it, it's really the power of the people who attend the conference that really make it different and magical. Every conference just has its own little spin on it. So we'd love for you to come hang out with us, share your expertise, meet some of these power partners that were here, and really just connect in the community. Anything else anybody has?
No, besides our help for our hype for Sydney, I think we're very excited about that, Amy. I can feel the vibes.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's going to be a whole new experience. So
perfect. All right. Well, that's a wrap for us. We'll see you guys in the community real soon.
Take care, everyone.
Take care. Thank you.